The success of Moana 2 has blown everyone away, but Disney clearly saw it coming. The post-credit scene featuring Nalo strongly hints that a sequel is already in the works, even though there's no official confirmation or release date yet.
This is a call from the ancestors.
Want to find out everything we know about the next chapter for Disney's most fearless wayfinder?
You were gone forever.
It was 3 days.
Both the original Moana and its sequel are packed with breathtaking scenes. The final moment of the second movie, where Moana sacrifices herself and is resurrected as a demigod, is hands down the highlight of Moana 2 and one of the greatest moments in the entire saga. This pivotal scene will forever mark a turning point, as Moana's life will never be the same. It's almost certain that Moana 3 will delve deeper into her divine powers, and we can't wait to see what she can do. While there's no official word yet on what abilities the new demigod will have, we can still dream and speculate, right? Much like Maui, Moana now bears magical tattoos and wields a divine artifact, though instead of a hook, it's her trusty oar. This suggests her powers will likely be tied to the oar. Considering her natural connection to the ocean, it's highly likely that her newfound abilities will grant her total mastery over water. If that's the case, she could essentially become one with the ocean, communicating telepathically with the sea and sensing everything it feels. Moreover, her powers might even extend to waters governed by other deities, meaning she wouldn't face the same limitations she did in Moana 2 when the ocean couldn't help her in Nalo's territory. It's also very plausible that she could gain traits from a specific animal. Maui can transform into various creatures, and Matangi has bat-like features and can morph into one. So wouldn't it be amazing to see Moana transform into a giant manta ray, just like her grandmother Tala did after her passing? Another intriguing possibility would be if Moana could summon the spirits of her ancestors in the form of sea creatures. Imagine her calling upon a spectral army, with her grandmother appearing as a manta ray and Tautai Vasa emerging below her as an enormous whale shark. Just thinking about these possibilities shows how much potential Moana 3 has, and there's even more excitement on the horizon. So get ready to ride the waves, it's time for another Cinewave. One of the coolest aspects of Moana 2 was that its main villain didn't even appear for 99% of the movie. All the challenges were caused by Nalo, the god of storms, who cursed humanity to keep them from uniting and fighting back against him. Throughout Moana's journey to the island of Motufitu, not once did we see Nalo's face or hear his voice, yet his menacing presence loomed over every scene, like a constant reminder that this god was watching Moana and her friends every step of the way. So, when the post-credit scene finally revealed Nalo's true form, everyone went wild. Naturally, he's set to return in Moana 3, once again as the main antagonist. But this time, he'll likely take matters into his own hands, confronting Moana, Maui, and humanity head-on. Nalo will no doubt showcase his full power, seeking vengeance. If Maui, a mere demigod, could pull the sun with his hook, imagine the might of a full-fledged god. Moana 3 is where we'll finally get our answer. One of the best surprises in the second movie was the introduction of Samea, Moana's adorable little sister. She stole the spotlight in the trailer, and the movie was no different. Her cuteness and humor were an absolute delight. That said, Samea didn't join Moana on her ocean adventure in Moana 2. She's just a baby after all, and it would have been far too dangerous for someone her age to embark on such an epic and perilous journey. However, there's a strong chance she'll play a much bigger role in the third movie, and we have two solid clues to back this up. First, in Moana, Pua the pig faced a similar situation, being left behind during Moana's first voyage. But then he became part of her crew in the sequel. Samea seems to be following in Pua's footsteps, making it highly likely that she'll join her sister's adventure in Moana 3. The second clue? It's simple. There was a 3-year time jump between the first and second movies. Film franchises often follow certain patterns, and since Moana 2 featured several callbacks to the original, it's highly likely that Moana 3 will have another time jump, maybe another 3 years or even more. If that happens, Samea will be older and might even learn some skills like fighting. Moana will probably still try to keep her out of harm's way, but this time, Samea might be clever and capable enough to sneak onto the ship without being noticed, unlike her failed attempt in Moana 2. If you're as big a fan of Samea as we are, drop a hashtag Samea in the comments below. For a long time, we thought Matangi would be the main villain of Moana 2, but then we learned she's just a servant of Nalo, forced to do his bidding. Thankfully, she even betrayed the storm god to help Moana on her journey. However, the post-credit scene revealed that poor Matangi is still under Nalo's control and will be sent after Moana once again. Now that Moana is a demigoddess, it'll be exciting to see the two face off in a full-blown battle. Deep down though, Matangi doesn't seem to be truly evil. The writers likely won't waste the small character development she received in Moana 2. It's highly probable she'll defy Nalo again, but this time for good. Since Matangi is such a charismatic character loved by fans, it wouldn't be surprising if Disney made her part of Moana's crew. Watching her interact with humans could lead to some hilarious scenes. Additionally, some of her comments in Moana 2 hint that she might have feelings for Maui. This could be the perfect opportunity to explore their mysterious past and maybe even turn them into a couple. Would Moana compete with her for Maui's affection? Probably not. The Kakamoras are among the franchise's most beloved characters. In the first movie, they were a quirky group of pirate coconuts with arms and legs, but the sequel gave them a much deeper backstory. We found out that the Kakamoras originally lived on an island that was also cursed by Nalo, preventing them from ever returning home. But now that Nalo's spell has been broken, the Kakamoras can finally return to their island. Given their memorable role in the first film and their significance in Moana 2, there's a good chance their homeland will play a major role in the third installment. While we got a brief glimpse of their island at the end of the sequel, there's so much more to explore. Just like the humans, the Kakamoras have plenty of reasons to hate Nalo. It's highly likely they'll team up with Moana to fight the evil storm god in the third movie. Another fantastic return in Moana 2 was Tamatoa, the giant crab obsessed with collecting shiny treasures. After his humiliating defeat in the first film, he reappeared in the most recent movie's post-credit scene, aligning himself with Nalo to get revenge on Moana. You can guess where this is heading, right? There's no way we won't see an epic battle between Tamatoa and Moana's crew. But let's not forget one thing, Moana is now a demigoddess and definitely won't hold back. Still, Tamatoa might level up too. What if Nalo transforms him into a demigod? Either way, the crab is set to be a worthy foe in a thrilling showdown in the third movie. And let's hope he brings another catchy song to the battle, just like his unforgettable number in Lalotai. If you don't want to risk facing divine wrath, here's a tip, hit that subscribe button. Those who are subscribed to the channel are protected by a powerful magic spell. So far, we've seen two gods in Moana's world, Te Fiti and Nalo. But we know there are countless other deities, and Moana 3 has a great chance to introduce another one. At the very least, we'll likely see another god inspired by someone from the mythological pantheon of Polynesian cultures. If each of the two previous movies introduced a new deity, why wouldn't the third? And since we're talking about the third film, often the pinnacle of a franchise, it's possible we'll see not just one more god, but perhaps the entire pantheon of deities in this universe. After all, with Nalo seemingly preparing to wage war against humanity, it would make sense for other gods to get involved. The storm god's actions would likely be considered a grave offense among them, meddling in mortal affairs. Another thing hinted at in the ending of Moana 2 is that its sequel will shine a light on peoples beyond Motunui and Polynesia. This is because Moana finally encountered travelers from other lands and brought them to her home island to form bonds. This means the next movie will almost certainly introduce completely different characters and showcase unique cultures, serving as a way to teach children about respecting all kinds of people. And since Nalo has declared himself an enemy of all humankind, these other groups will undoubtedly band together with the people of Motunui to help defeat him. Some of these new characters from distant islands might even join Moana's crew to aid her directly with their unique skills. Originally, Moana 2 was planned as a Disney Plus series, but the plan changed when Disney realized that the story was too good not to hit the big screen. And they were right. The story was perfectly adapted into an incredible movie. However, there was one small issue. The super cool characters in Moana's crew didn't get much time to shine. That likely would have been different in a series, which would have had more time to develop them. Now that all the characters have been introduced, Moana 3 has the perfect opportunity to explore their full potential and give each of them their own personal journeys that connect them to the main story. And since this project is being made as a film from the start, rather than as a series, it'll make things much simpler for the writers. Do you want to see that happen? I definitely do. We've got two amazing videos on your screen that we're sure you'll love. Just click on one to keep the fun going. Thanks, and see you next time.